In the heart of ancient Egyptian belief, there was a concept that held the universe together. It was called Ma'at. It was order, truth, justice, and the perfect balance of all things. But where there is order, its opposite must also exist. This was Isfet chaos, injustice, and unending darkness. And no creature embodied this terrifying chaos more perfectly than the great serpent, Apep. Wasn't a god to be worshipped or an entity that was born in the traditional sense. It was a primordial force, a being of pure chaos that existed even before the world was created. Picture the beginning of time. From the dark, swirling waters of Nun, the creator god Ra willed himself into existence. But from that same chaotic soup, a shadow was cast. That shadow was Apep. Imagine a serpent of immeasurable length, its coils forming mountain ranges, its roar shaking the very foundations of the underworld. Apep had only one all-consuming desire: to swallow the sun, destroy the god Ra, and plunge the entire cosmos back into the dark, silent void from which it all began. It was the ultimate enemy of creation, the darkness to Ra's light, the destruction to his creation. It was the eternal threat, the embodiment of the end of all things. For the ancient Egyptians, the sun didn't just rise and set on its own. Every day was a perilous journey, and every night was a life-or-death struggle. By day, Ra, the glorious sun god, sailed across the sky in his magnificent dayboat, known as the Manjet. He brought light, warmth, and life to the world of the living, a brilliant beacon of order and power. But when the sun dipped below the horizon, Ra's true test began. He would switch from his dayboat to his nightboat, the Mesektet, and descend into the Duatha Egyptian underworld. This wasn't a peaceful cruise. The Duat was a dangerous realm, divided into 12 sections, representing the 12 hours of the night. Each hour was a gate, guarded by fearsome demons and powerful deities. Ra's mission was to bring light to the souls of the dead, to offer them a moment of renewal before his own rebirth at dawn. However, lurking in the deepest, darkest waters of the underworld, his ancient enemy was always waiting. This was Apep's domain. Every single night, as Ra's boat navigated the treacherous waters, the great serpent would rise. This was the moment the universe held its breath. The battle for the dawn was a nightly spectacle of cosmic proportions. Apep would use every terrifying power at its disposal. It would churn the waters of the Duat, creating massive sandbanks to strand Ra's boat. Its deafening roar was said to be so powerful it could paralyze the gods on board, shaking their resolve. But Apep's most fearsome weapon was its gazer hypnotic stare that could mesmerize anyone who looked into its eyes, including Ra himself. Its goal was terrifyingly simple: to immobilize the sun god and swallow him, along with his boat, extinguishing the light forever. If Apep ever succeeded, the world would end. day would never come again. But Ra never faced this threat alone. His night boat was crewed by a fellowship of the most powerful gods in the Egyptian pantheon, each with a crucial role in defending the sun. Standing bravely at the prow, leading the defense, was a surprising figure, the god Set. Today, Set is often remembered as the villain in the story of Osiris and Horus, a god of chaos himself. But in this nightly battle, he was the ultimate champion of order, as the god of strength, storms, and the desert. He was the only one with the raw power to face Apep head-on. As the great serpent lunged, Set would strike it down with a bronze spear or a divine lance, his own thunderous battle cry drowning out Apep's hiss. He was the frontline warrior, the protector of the light. But Set wasn't the only defender. The goddesses, Isis and Nephthys, powerful sorceresses, would weave spells of confusion, creating illusions to disorient the serpent and repel its dark magic. Sometimes the fierce cat goddess Bastet was depicted leaping into the fray, slashing at Apep with her razor-sharp claws. And to counter the serpent's hypnotic gaze, another god. Manhu was also a serpent would coil his own body around Ro's shrine, forming a protective barrier so the sun god could not be ensnared. Every night, this epic battle raged in the darkness of the underworld. The gods would fight with all their might, spearing and cutting Apep, wounding the beast. And as its blood spilled, it was believed to stain the sky, creating the brilliant red and orange hues we see at sunrise and sunset, beautiful, daily reminder of the violent struggle that had just taken place. But here is the most chilling part of the myth. Apep could be defeated, but it could never be truly destroyed, because it was the physical embodiment of chaos. It was an eternal, necessary part of the universe's balance. No matter how many times it was cut to pieces, it would always reform in the darkness, ready to launch its attack again the very next night. The war was perpetual. The threat was constant. For the Egyptians, this wasn't just a story. It was a lived reality that explained the world's most frightening phenomena, a solar eclipse. That was a terrifying moment when Apep had almost succeeded, when its monstrous jaws were closing around the sun. An earthquake, that was the writhing of Apep's colossal body trapped beneath the earth. Because the threat was so real, the Egyptians believed they had a role to play. Priests across the land performed daily rituals to aid Ra and his divine crew. They would create effigies of Apep out of wax or papyrus, and then, in elaborate ceremonies, they would stab, burn, and curse these figures. They believed their actions on Earth had a direct magical effect, weakening the real Apep in the underworld and strengthening the gods in their fight. The eternal war between Ra and Apep is more than just a myth about good versus evil. It's a profound statement about the nature of existence. It tells us that order, life, and light, the principles of matter, not guaranteed. They are a fragile victory, a triumph that must be fought for and won. again and again, every single day, against the ever-present darkness of chaos. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into Egyptian mythology, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure into the ancient world. See you next time.